Mayor, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council to order for December 21st, 2017 at 8 p.m. On roll call, council members Churdo. Here. Dombrowski. Here. Golubek. Here. Bonsino. Here. Work. Here. Giandomenico.
Here.
Mayor Catamagna.
Here.
Motion. We have a quorum.
Can everyone rise, please, for a prayer? Oh God our Father, we ask you to bless our meeting, which we entrust to your fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and implant therein a keen sense of justice and greater love for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our deliberations so that our decision will be always please you and bring you peace and happiness to our community. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Whereas Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of the State of New Jersey requires at the commencement of every meeting, a statement of compliance be read by the presiding officer. Now therefore be advised that the meeting requirements for this meeting has been met by publishing an annual meeting notice in the Record and the Herald News of Woodland Park, and by posting such a notice in the office of the Borough Clerk, as well as in the public place within the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on January 5, 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, this meeting is being videotaped. It will be on Cablevision, Channel 77, on Tuesdays at 12 p.m., Thursdays at 9 a.m., and Fridays at 8 a.m. The video is also available on the Borough website at www.elmwoodparknj.us.
Mayor, at this time, we'll move on to the approval of minutes from the November 9th, 2017 regular meeting, the November 9th, 2017 executive session, the December 7th, 2017 special public meeting, and the December 7th, 2017 executive session.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have Gianmarco and Churdo. Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Churdo.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yep.
Motion carries. Mayor, next we have presentations to former Mayor Robert Coletti and outgoing Councilman Louis Bonsino and Keith Work. The two gentlemen would like to join us below the dais along with the mayor.
Okay. Salud, Bonsino, Councilman Bonsino. The Elmwood Park Mayor and Council wish to extend their heartfelt thanks on behalf of the community for your 9 years of dedicated service as a member of the Elmwood Park Borough Council.
9 years?
Thank you.
25
Almost a decade. That was 6 years. I didn't write that. Councilman Keith Ward, the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council wish to extend their heartfelt thanks on behalf of the community for your 1 year of dedicated service as a member of the Elmwood Park Board of Council. I guess I didn't put the back here. Thank you very much. All right, Mayor Robert Coletti, is that here? And I have Mr. Boncino accepting your word. Thank you. The Elmwood Park Mayor Council wish to extend their heart thanks on behalf of the community for a year of dedicated service as mayor of the Board of Elmwood Park. Say congratulations and thank you. Thank him for this. Thank you.
Mayor, next on the agenda, we have the presentation to the 2017 Elmwood Park Bombers Super Bowl champions. I'd like to call Councilman Keith Work and Mayor Catamagna to the podium down below to honor these young athletes. Keith.
No, Keith, use the other one.
The top one.
Okay, we're here tonight to honor the Elmwood Park Pee Wee Bomber football team for an outstanding season that they had. The Elmwood Park Bomber football team won the Northern Pee Wee Division Championship, the Northern Conference Championship, and then finally won the Super Bowl championship for the Meadowlands Football League. This football team was so dominant, they finished undefeated, 11-0 through the whole season, while shutting out 9 of the 11 teams that they played. The Elmwood Park Pee Wee team did not allow 1 point in the 3 playoff games that they played. The coaches and players had an outstanding season, and it was an honor to recognize these coaches and players, and it was also an honor being part of the organization during this incredible run. The last time the Elmwood Park Pee Wee Bombers had an undefeated season was way back in 1996, so incredible year, but since that time they've been involved with 6 Super Bowl games, and they had an incredible run this year, and congratulations. I'd like to call the individual, well, I'd like to call the coaches up also. Head coach George Shama, come on up here. I'd like the assistant head coach Bill Mulligan. The assistant coach is Jeff Leader. Steve Saladino. Joe Leto. Ralph Pasala. Ralph here. And of course I'm the last one, Keith Work, so. Ralph, another ring? Okay. Okay, now, the players, what you guys see? Yeah. So when your players come up, get your certificates. After you get your certificates, make sure you shake your hands for all these coaches, for all the volunteer effort and work that they put into it. Evan Stolz. Don't forget the big guy. Okay, Matt Mulligan. Little guy with a big heart. Christian Leto. Okay, Jonathan Jerez. Anthony Baker. Gio Sayeg. John Pekarsky. Sean Robbins. Okay, Tyler Kupoff. Christopher Gander. Logan Kidd. Justin Leader.
Jeff.
Luca Ferrara.
Tell the kids to move over. Tell the kids to step back. The kids.
Salvatore Lavoni.
Picture.
Alex Masolo. Jesse Hitman Stratz. Jaden Villanova. Benjamin Fasolo. Giancarlo Serra. Jacob Fernandez. I like it. Anson Weaver. Max Mateo. Caitlin Icebox Leopard. Rami Ramadan. Leo Tosawulski. Wyatt Griffin. Ramsey Ramadan. Charles Willow. I should say Chucky. Aiden Lopez. Braden Joseph.
I was just getting ready to post, so I was like,
Gavin Solocito. Daryl Genoa. Malachi Banks. And we saved the two big guys for last that just dominated the games. Nobody gained any yards against these two guys. Joseph Lucas. And Vinny Urzo. Guys, great season.
Okay, well, let the kids enjoy their moment. leave yet.
Now, before we go,
Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet.
we have to honor the girls that came to every game. The cheerleaders that were always there. You know, rain, shine, and there was a lot of things there was, so we like to honor the girls. Okay. Okay. I'd like to have the head coach come up here, Jacqueline Clark. Not here? Okay, the assistant coach, Marissa Loa. She's here? Yeah. I didn't tell us last name. Oh. Yeah. Okay, the other Pee Wee assistant coach, Kirsten McGrath. You want to kill that name?
I know, thank you.
And we have the Pee Wee cheerleader, Gracie Cook. Iman Darish. Avery Donahue. Juliana Folicina. Stephanie Lazaro Buru. Marissa Lowe. Gillian Marston. Good job, good job. Alaya Ramsey. Megan Ritiski. Okay. And Gianna Solcito.
Excuse me, Mayor.
Congratulations.
Keith, you forgot something. We have one more surprise for these kids.
We have to have the, George Sharma and Assistant Coach Bill Muller come up. We have a little surprise for you guys.
It's a big check.
And Steve Saccone, you should come up here too, President of Elmwood Park Bombers. So come on, Steve. Get up here.
These will be posted. Here you go. These will be the sign of the crowd.
Barb, that's why I'm here. George, you can't take that home. It stays here.
Congratulations, George!
I know.
Those are the boys, man.
Yeah, give something else. So time to stop?
At this time, we'll take a brief 5-minute recess for those of you who would like to excuse yourselves, and then we'll continue with our meeting.
We're back.
Mayor, we'll move on to ordinances this evening under second reading. We'll start off with Resolution 403-17, which is an introduction of ordinance 17-34 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to amend Chapter 7 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled Traffic by amending Section 7-21 thereof, and whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, November 9th, 2017, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to amend Chapter 7 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled Traffic by amending Section 7-21 thereof pass on final reading. Mayor will need a motion to open to the public.
Mayor, motion to open the floor for public comments.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Churdo.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Is there anyone from the public that wish to speak? I guess no.
Mayor will need a motion to close.
I can close to, you have a motion to close to the public?
So moved.
Second.
I guess call the roll again.
On roll call, Councilmembers Churdo.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Mayor will need a motion to adopt the ordinance.
Yes. Can I have a motion to
So
adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
I guess call the roll, please.
Mayor, just for clarification, this ordinance is with regard to placing multi-way stop signs in certain locations identified by the police department throughout the borough. On roll call, Councilmembers Churdo.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Motion carries. Second ordinance on second reading tonight is Resolution 405-17, introduce ordinance 17-36 on second reading. Whereas a public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to amend Chapter 3 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled Police Regulations by repealing and replacing Section 3.5 thereof, and whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, November 9th, 2017, and that further consideration of this ordinance will be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to amend Chapter 3 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled Police Regulations be by repealing and replacing Section 3.5 thereof, pass on final reading. Mayor, this is an ordinance that will re-adopt the drug-free maps for the Borough of Elmwood Park, which are utilized by the police department in various narcotics cases. We'll need a motion to open to the public.
So moved.
Second.
May I have a motion to open, I guess, to the public?
did.
Yes.
So moved.
That's so moved. Second, okay. Is anyone here from the public who like to talk about this motion? If you are, please come forward and state your name and address. I guess I don't see anybody else coming. I guess I need a motion to close to the public.
So moved.
Second. Can I have a motion to adopt this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, call the roll, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Churdo.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next ordinance on second reading is Resolution 406-17, introduce ordinance 17-37 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to fix the salary, wage, and compensation of the Borough of Elmwood Park employees and servants of the Borough, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, for the year 2017, and whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, December 7th, 2017, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. Whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to fix the salary, wage, and compensation of the officers, employees, and servants of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, for the calendar year 2007, passed on final reading. Mayor, this is an ordinance to adopt the salary ordinance for calendar year 2017, and as mentioned at the previous meeting, it is a 2% cost of living adjustment across the board. Need a motion to open to the
May I
public.
have a motion to open to the floor to the public
So
for
moved.
comments?
Second.
Yes, call the roll, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Churdo.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Motion to open carries.
Okay, is anyone from the public to wish to speak on this ordinance? If not, Can I have a motion to close to the public?
So moved.
Second.
Can I have a motion to adopt
So
this
moved.
ordinance?
Giandomenico.
Second.
Dombrowski.
Call the roll, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Churdo.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Motion carries. Our next ordinance is Resolution 407-17, introduce ordinance 17-38 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to amend Chapter 14 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled Fire Prevention by repealing and replacing Section 14-3.1 thereof, and whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, December 7th, 2017, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to amend Chapter 14 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled Fire Prevention by repealing and replacing Section 14-3.1 thereof, pass on final reading. Mayor, this is an ordinance which will regulate outdoor burning, specifically when it comes to fire pits and chimeneas. We'll need a motion to open to the public.
So
Okay.
moved.
Second.
Is anyone from the public who wishes to speak at this ordinance? Please come forward. No one, so I need a motion to close
So
the
moved.
public.
Second.
And can I have a motion to adopt this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Call roll, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Churdo.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Motion carries. And our final ordinance tonight on second reading is Resolution 408-17, introduce ordinance 17-39 on second reading. Whereas a public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to amend the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park, Chapter 2 thereof, entitled Administration. And whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, December 7th, 2017, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to amend the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park, Chapter 2 thereof, entitled Administration, pass on final reading. Mayor, this makes a slight adjustment to the table of organization for the police department by adding one additional patrol officer, and a subsequent resolution appointing that officer will be the next item on the agenda.
I guess I need a motion to appoint the police officer.
First, we need a motion to open to the public.
So moved.
Second.
Is anyone from the public who would like to come to speak about this motion? No one? Close to the public? You have a motion to close?
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
Okay, call the roll, please.
This is to close the public hearing. Councilmembers Churdo.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, you need a motion to adopt the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, call the roll.
On roll call to adopt, Councilmembers Churdo.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, the next item on the agenda is the appointment of said police officer, which is Resolution 409-17. Appoint Police Officer Eric J. Cachola. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the following names be and is hereby appointed as a police officer in the Police Department of the Borough of Elmwood Park, Eric J. Cachola. Be it further resolved that remuneration is set at the rate as per the 2018 through 2025 PBA Collective Bargaining Unit, effective December 22nd, 2017.
Guess I need a motion to appoint.
So moved.
Second.
Yes, roll call, please.
On roll call to adopt the ordinance, the resolution, Councilmembers Churdo.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
At this time, I would ask everyone to please rise as the Elmwood Park Police Honor Guard escort Patrol Officer Cachola into the council chambers for the mayor to administer the swearing in. Please feel free to take your seats. I'd ask Mayor Caramagna, Chief Foligno, and our newest police officer to come forward for the administration of the oath of office.
Keith, call up the family. Oh, no, I forget.
Eric, she can stand on the chair and hold the Bible for you. Can you stand on the chair, sweetheart? And hold the Bible, okay?
Talk loud.
Ready? Okay, I guess we got the right hands over there. Could you please repeat after me?
I, Eric J. Cachola,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and
to
allegiance
the same
to the same,
and to the government established
and to the government established
in the United States
in the United States
and this state
and this state
under the authority
under the authority
of the people,
of the people,
that
that
I will faithfully,
I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all duties
all duties
of the office of
of the office of
police officer
police officer,
according to the best
according to the best
of my ability.
of my ability,
So,
so
help me God.
so help me God.
Like that? Okay, good. Such this. Sign to you.
Stand. Keith, stand.
At this time, I'd ask everyone to please rise for the dismissal of the honor guard. Please be seated. Chief, through the mayor, with your permission, I don't know if you want to say a few words.
I'd just like to thank the mayor and council for the continued support of the police department. We enjoy the outstanding working relationship. I'd like to welcome Eric to the community, to the family, the police department. Got some support here, some of the guys couldn't make it, but everybody welcomes you with open arms. And congratulations to you and your family, and thank you for joining the outstanding police force. Thank you.
Maybe is anyone from the council maybe wants to make some comments?
Just briefly, Mayor, please. Eric, again, congratulations. Welcome to our borough and joining a terrific police department that we have here in our town. And I just wanted to extend again my wishes for a safe and rewarding career here in our borough. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, Mayor. Officer Cachola, I'd like to welcome you to Elmwood Park. I ask you to learn quick, serve well, and please, always stay safe out there. Thank you very much for coming to Elmwood Park.
Anyone else?
I'll just echo the same sentiments of my colleagues, just wishing you a safe career in Elmwood Park as you join our fabulous police force. Thank you.
Anyone else?
As same, congratulations and good luck.
Officer Cachola, good luck. All the best to you in your career here in Elmwood Park. And just as an aside to the chief, I appreciate your efforts to make sure that the people in your police force look like the people they represent in terms of diversity of the police department. I think that's a tremendous thing and puts us at a considerable advantage over other communities. So thank you and congratulations.
Mr. Ward?
I'd like to welcome you to the Elmwood Park Police Department. It's a great department, very community-oriented. Everybody knows them, and are very familiar with the town, and we hope you have a safe and long, prosperous time here.
Thank you.
Officer Cachola, welcome to Elmwood Park, and may God save you, keep you safe, and good luck, okay? Thank you. Good luck to you guys.
Thank you.
Mayor, moving on with the agenda, we have number 9, the consent agenda, Resolution 410-17, payment of bills, Resolution 411-17, confirmation of payroll, Resolution 412-17, approve current estimate repairs to the municipal building rear entrance, Resolution 413-17, approve current estimate 2 and change order 2, the 2017 road program, Resolution 414-17, a resolution authorizing the execution of a contract between the Borough of Elmwood Park and the County of Bergen for the 2016 Open Space Trust Fund grant. Resolution 215-17, retirement compensation for Patricia Burke in the Mayor's Office. Resolution 416-17, appointment of Mayoral Secretary Morella C. Hernandez. Resolution 417-17, authorize the hiring of the recycling coordinator Morella C. Hernandez. Resolution 418-17, appoint before and after school care employees within the Recreation Department. Resolution 419-17, refund credit balances on property tax accounts. Resolution 420-17, appoint volunteer firefighters for the Elmwood Park Fire Department. Resolution 421-17, a resolution extending the leave of absence from the Fire Prevention Bureau for Angelo Castronovo. Resolution 422-17, authorize a vacation buyback for Police Chief Michael Foligno. Resolution 423-17, authorize usage of the all-purpose room for the mobilization of Animal Rights, Inc. Resolution 424-17, authorize usage of the all-purpose room for Care Plus NJ. EP takes action. Resolution 425-17, a resolution authorizing Boswell Engineering to upgrade or update the borough's zoning maps. Resolution 426-17, a resolution authorizing traffic striping and curb painting to Statewide Striping Corporation. Resolution 427-17, authorize the release of escrow for 11 Grant Street. Resolution 428-17, authorize transfer of substitute crossing guard to full-time position Frank Morea for the Police Department. Resolution 429-17, appointment substitute crossing guard David Manzo for the Police Department. Resolution 430-17, appointment South Bergen Municipal Joint Insurance Fund representative. Resolution 431-17, appoint dispatcher Daniel Carone for the Police Department. Resolution 432-17, appoint laborer John Scarpula for the Department of Public Works. Resolution 433-17, transfer of funds. Resolution 434-17, redeem per third-party tax lien. Resolution 435-17, resolution to cancel stale checks. Resolution 436-17, authorize refunds for the Recreation Department programs. And Resolution 437-17, a resolution to accept this consent agenda.
May I have a motion on the consent agenda?
Mayor, I'd like to recuse myself from Resolution 416-17 and 417-17.
416 and 417?
Yeah.
I'll move the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Churda,
Yes.
Dombrowski?
Yes.
Golubek?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Giandomenico?
Yes, other than the two I recuse myself from.
So we're abstaining on 416 and 417. Motion.
Can I ask you a question? Mr. Giandomenico, you recuse yourself 417/17. Any reason why?
Because the person, no other reason, nothing against the individual, other than she used to work for my current employer. So I feel it's a conflict with, based on, I don't know if you want me to go
Based
in
on
on
what?
it? Based on the things that I've heard from my current employer when that person was employed there.
Do you listen to people outside? Do you know her? Miss,
Well, this
you
is
know
why I
Miss Marilyn
recused
Monroe?
myself not to speak of the individual. No, I don't know the person. She used to work for my current employer, so I feel it's a conflict me voting for her. Has nothing against the person or you creating the position. This is not an adversarial.
Usually
Thank-
people have a reason for that.
I just told
And
you my
I don't see
reason.
any conflict at all. I'm an attorney.
And this isn't new. She brought it up last meeting.
She's permitted to recuse herself, Mayor, if she feels uncomfortable and feels that she shouldn't vote on it. Any voting member is
You don't
permitted
need
to
that,
recuse
you don't
themselves.
need that to have a reason for it.
I just gave you my reason. Did you want me to vote no? I mean, we're creating a conflict out of something that was supposed to be a simple requisition. We have the right to do that.
Well,
So,
in the
I mean,
past-
if you want to call
listen,
it out, I have no problem saying and going into full
I've been-
explanation.
I've
But you
been,
shouldn't want me to do
I
that.
actually do because she's now an employee, she hasn't been raised, so we
Sir.
can't discuss her.
Thank you. All right,
Mayor, under department, I'm sorry. You ready? Under departmental reports, we have the Recreation Department report for November, the Recreation Advisory Board minutes for October the 23rd, the Library Board minutes for October the 16th, the Municipal Court report for October and November, the Municipal Police Department report for October and November, the Millennium Strategies report for November, the Finance Department report for November.
okay, may I have a motion to accept and file the department reports?
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll, please.
Roll call, Councilmembers Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Mayor, that concludes my portion of the agenda. However, we do need to change the tape before committee.
Okay. Okay, you ready? All right, this time, the council report, please. Whoever wants to start.
Do you have enough time? Short meeting. I know. No, once again, I would like to congratulate the players and coaches of the Elmwood Park Pee Wee Bombers for the outstanding season they had. It was truly amazing watching this talented group of children come together and winning the Super Bowl championship. Real quick, the Elmwood Park Recreation Basketball season starts the first weekend in January. The 7th and 8th graders start on Friday night, January 5th, and the 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th graders start on Saturday, January 6th, so come on down and watch these kids play their hearts out. There are really some outstanding games there. Street hockey season has been going on for 4 weeks on Sunday morning, starting 9 a.m., running to 12:30 p.m. The kids are having a great time. The past mayor and council, along with the rec director, Donna Puglisi, and the Recreation Advisory Board accomplished a lot in the past year for the recreation facilities in Elmwood Park. First phase of Cherry Hill Park was completed. Gall Avenue Park was completed. Bond ordinance for the Birchwood Park was approved, and Birchwood would hopefully be equipped with new playground equipment in the spring of next year. Elmwood Park did receive Green Acre grants in the amount of $49,100 to reduce the cost for that park. New signs were installed at all the parks in Elmwood Park. A new fence was installed around Elmwood Drive Park. The mayor, council, along with the rec director and recreation advisory board, also continue to move on plans for the ADA compliant playground equipment at Cherry Hill Park. The Elmwood Park Recreation Department purchased ADA compliant playground equipment at a substantial savings to start the second phase of Cherry Hill Park. The addition of the all-inclusive park at Cherry Hill will allow handicapped and autistic children to play along with the rest of the children of Elmwood Park. The Elmwood Park Recreation Department will work with Jeff Leader's Let Them Be Little organization to secure the grants for this project. The Recreation Department will have more opportunities to secure these additional grants with the aid and assistance for the Let It Be a Little organization. Also, fencing around Barrow Field was repaired. New caps, hose covers were replaced around the whole field. New bleachers have been added to Barrow Field, Pine Street Field, and a new outdoor hockey rink. Player benches have also been added to Barrow Field and Pine Street Fields. The baseball fields at Barrow Field never looked better. Regarding the fire department, this will be real quick. I would like to thank Fire Chief William Shadwell, Assistant Fire Chief Mike Sulik, 1st Battalion Chief Robert Shavasta Jr., and 2nd Battalion Chief Robert Bruce, and the captains, lieutenants, and firefighters for working with me and the council, mayor, council, in achieving their many goals. The mayor and council approved the bond ordinance for the purchase of a new rescue fire truck, a new E1 Typhoon pumper fire truck, replacing very old trucks, replacing a 1986 Grumman van and a 1995 Spartan Darley pumper truck. These acquisitions will allow Elmwood Park Fire Department to become more efficient and effective in responding to fires and other emergencies. The Mayor and Council also approved purchase of a new rescue boat and trailer. The funding for these purchases were provided by the Fire Prevention Trust Fund. The EP Fire Department will also be securing new radio equipment with the E1 Typhoon pumper truck. The funding for the new radio equipment will also be provided by the Fire Prevention Trust Fund. And finally, the Elmwood Park Fire Department was also able to purchase 13 complete sets of equipment for our firefighters. And once again, these acquisitions will allow the Elmwood Park Fire Department to become more efficient, effective, and act safely in responding to the fires and other emergencies. I would like to thank these firefighters for the service and dedication to the Elmwood Park residents serving as volunteer firefighters. These many accomplishments were attained, with the fire department and rec department were attained with the assistance of Mayor Bob Coletti, Council President Magdalena Domenico, Councilman Lou Vancino, Councilman Anthony Churto, Councilman Joe Dombrowski, Councilman Daniel Gollenbeck. This was a bipartisan effort by the mayor and councilman to achieve these accomplishments possible. And it was an honor working with all these people to get these things done. I would like to thank Bob Coletti and Lou Vancino for their many years of services they gave to the residents of Elmwood Park. I had the privilege of serving as a councilman with Lou for 4 years and Bob for 3 years, and they provided me with a wealth of knowledge that assisted me with my work on the council. I would also like to add that it was an honor and pleasure serving as a council for the residents of Elmwood Park. This is a great town. I love working up here, and always will. Even I will still be working when I'm also down here. Finally, I would like to wish good luck to the new mayor and council. I'm sure hopefully they'll accomplish the same, accomplish the same amount of work that we did. I think they will. And finally, I would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a happy and healthy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ward. Mr. Dombrowski?
First, I'd like to, again, congratulate the Elmwood Park Bomber football players and the cheerleaders. The one thing I will say is that I know that some of the cheerleaders didn't show up tonight, but they were there on August 1st, getting ready for the season. They were there cheering on the boys. They were also there kneeling when a player was down on the field, and I got to give those girls a lot of credit. They stood out there in the rain and cheered their team on, so congratulations again to the Pee Wee Bomber football team and the cheerleaders. I'd also like to congratulate and welcome again Officer Eric Cacciola. And then lastly, I'd like to say to my council member Keith Work. Keith, it was a pleasure having you serve with us, having you come up at a time when you were appointed and you've served this community well, not only as a council member but as a coach for many, many years through football, baseball, and basketball. And I also like to say thank you for always having a thorough council report. So. Councilman Lou Vancino. Lou, you and I have served together now. This will be our fourth year. And I have to tell you that all throughout my time as councilman, you've always looked at me as a colleague and not as a different party councilman. We worked very well together. You always brought objective views to the table. And I have to say that I really appreciated working with you through these years. And I wish you and your family, as your family grows and you become grandpa maybe a couple more times, I wish you well. God bless. And to everybody else out there, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you, Joe.
Mr. Vancino?
Thank you, Mayor. First, I'd like to congratulate the Pee Wee Bomber football team on their championship season. It's a lot of hard work. Coaches put a lot of time in. But probably most importantly, I have to thank the families of those players for hustling the kids to the field for practice and to the games. It takes a lot of work, and I know there's a lot involved with that. Also, again, want to congratulate Officer Cachola on joining our force. I'm sure he'll do well. I wish him a long, successful, and safe career. Final note about the ambulance corps. Their fund drive is in progress. Please, you'll get an envelope in the mail. Please support our ambulance corps. They do a lot of important work for our residents in town. Councilman Work is a rather lengthy report, and typically I come up shy, so I try to prepare myself and write something down. It's modest, though. It's not going to go into all the details that Councilman Work did. But on election night, when it was apparent that the community opted to go in a different direction, my first thought was, so I guess I'm a lame duck. That's a familiar term. I've heard it a number of times in the news. It was in the November timeframe. But man, well, once you are one, it really is the appropriate term. But seriously, even though I came up short, it reinforced with me what's great about our country, namely our rights as citizens to choose our elected officials. So with that, again, I want to do best wishes to Councilwomen-elect Ballesteri and Pellegrini as they step to the other side here, and again to Mayor Carmagna for a successful year. It was some 10 years ago when Mayor Mola wrote me into this endeavor. In my first public comments after I was sworn in, I said I was committed to giving 100% and would approach every deliberation with an open mind and carefully consider diverse points of view in my decision-making. It's my sincere hope that our residents believe I held true to that commitment. During these 3 terms, I've had the opportunity to work with some terrific people, various council colleagues over the years, but especially the astute group up here with me tonight, the youth to my left, well, to the left of the mayor, actually. And the Republican to my right, and Councilman Work. It was a great group that we worked with over the last year. To all the professionals, our employees in town, our department heads, our police department, our volunteers, our fire department, ambulance corps, they were professionals all. We have a good group of employees in town. I want to specifically thank Keith Kasmark for his guidance over these years, especially trying to keep me on the political road. I'm pretty politically naive, and guiding me through a rough couple of weeks in the fall of 2016. We did it together, and I appreciate it. I want to return to Mayor Mola for a moment. I was fortunate to serve with him for 8 years. I appreciated his political savvy and his insight to governance. While we didn't see eye to eye on all issues, every interaction that I had with him was a learning experience, and I believe I evolved as a councilman because of that collaboration. And as I evolved as a councilman over the last 9 years, my family has evolved. In the time I was on council, my wife and I have seen our 3 kids through high school, go through college, and now they're out making their mark in the world. But a special shout out to my daughter and her husband, who made us grandparents for the 2nd time again last month. So that's going to keep me busy over the course of 2018. So in closing, I want to thank the residents for their confidence that they placed in me. It was truly an honor and a privilege to serve the community of Elmwood Park. And please accept my wishes for a very Merry Christmas and a happy and healthy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
I'd like to also congratulate the Pewees on their state championships, as well as the coaches and the parents and all the work that goes into them attaining that title. As for our outgoing Councilman Work and Councilman Boncino, for me it's been an honor and privilege to serve with both of you, because your experience collectively and individually has taught me a lot, not only in the last 2 years that I've served on the council, but all the work you guys have done prior and everything you guys done for our town. Keith, you've been a coach for over 20 years. You've dedicated your services, time. You've served on various boards as a councilman. Lou, you were my counterpart on the when it came to the budget committee. I have to say, you diligently always managed the costs within the borough, and I could always rely on you for a thorough examination of everything.
So you have to continue to manage that because we have a cap on our itemized deductions now. So you got to be careful of those taxes, local taxes.
But I just know the knowledge that you guys have acquired through experience and town involvement is priceless. And even though you might not be on the council currently, I do hope that you guys stay involved, whether it's serving on one of the boards or through your involvement in the town. I know Lou's active with his wife for St. Leo's, and Keith, like I said, you're the coach and everything, and just thank you guys for everything you've done, not only as a council people, but as a taxpayer. I thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. In the world of the Department of Public
Also want to
Works,
wish everybody a Merry Christmas, all right, Happy New Year. Hope everybody had a nice Hanukkah.
Is that it?
Yes?
In the world of the Department of Public Works, unfortunately, it's too early in the season for me to be bringing props, so I will not rely on any props this early on in the season. But as the winter does approach, please don't forget to abide by the signs. No parking when road is snow covered. Don't gamble with it. If it starts to snow, don't take a chance and say, oh, it's only going to be a dusting or an inch. Just move the car. Move the car. It's a lot easier. So please be mindful of that as we enter into the winter season. Just want to bring everybody up to date a little bit on the library board. Myself, Councilman Dombrowski, and Councilman Voncino met again with the library building committee, and another great meeting. It's progressing steadily. Some great accomplishments. I believe I can confidently say that when everything is done, you'll go into that library and you'll see a completely different library of more of a learning center. So I'm proud of the accomplishments and the accomplishments to come. So it's a good update on the library board. Keith, Lou, I don't know if I would say congratulations on Thursday nights, and I'm sure your wives are happy that you'll be home on Thursdays. And but I do want to thank both of you and Mayor Coletti, Bob, if you're watching this when you watch it later on. I do want to thank you for your support and guidance over my years of coming to the club meeting as a 17-year-old, 18-year-old, going through and learning and watching. It meant a lot to me. And Bob, again, thank you for all of your guidance and support. We met about, I think it was maybe 16, 17 years ago, when I was just a young teenager working the Passion Play over at St. Leo's. You taught me how to control that spotlight, and gave me guidance there on after. And I appreciate all of the support that you've given me through my progression as a councilman. I will miss Keith. I'll miss your long, lengthy reports and detailed. I didn't want that to be as a negative. Lou, your attention to detail, and Bob, again, your leadership and direction. Combined, I think you guys have a 25 years experience as serving the community of Elmwood Park. And I'm sure just because you're not going to be sitting up here, I'm sure those years of service will just start adding and adding as the years go by. Again, on behalf of all the residents and myself as a friend, I thank you for your help.
Thank you. Mr. Golubach?
Thank you, Mayor. To Councilman Work and Voncino, I want to thank you both. Councilman Work, whether you're on the council or not, whether you're running or not, you're always involved in the community, coaching many sports, and it's really why you're one of those people and I said this to Larry Castiglia when he's here, one of those individuals that's truly respected and liked by virtually everyone in the community, and that says a lot about your character and about your service to the town, so thank you. And to Councilman Voncino, who is the most senior member in terms of experience on the council, there's going to be that void with your years leaving. The library project, the way the spot it is today, is because of your insistence so many years back that you insisted they take a harder look. It wasn't easy. There were different forces at play, but you kept on the issue, and that's why we're in a good spot today. And also, when you had to step in as acting mayor for 2 weeks, you handled it as professionally and as good as possible considering the circumstances. So thank you for that and for your service, and all the best to you both. Just very quickly, to our first responders, ambulance, police, and fire, they were thrust into a difficult situation last week at Gander Avenue Elementary School. I want to thank them for their professionalism on the scene, as well as when they were at the Board of Education meeting on Tuesday. Chief Foligno, Chief Shadwell, as well as other officials from the county and different agencies were on hand to give the as much information as they could about what happened that day and all the events afterwards. So I thank them for that. I thank the Board of Ed for handling it as best as they can, and ask them to continue monitoring the situation. Shakib Fakori, congratulations. He was appointed to the Board of Education in the last few weeks. And to Doris Wechsler and Kathy Policano, our two members of the Board of Ed that are coming off this year, did not run for re-election. Kathy Policano was a teacher for 40 years and then served for 6 years. And Ms. Wechsler served 4 different times over 4 different decades on the Board of Education. So to both of them, we thank them for their service. To all the residents of Elmwood Park and everyone here tonight, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Wish you peace and happiness in the new year. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll tell you, I have nothing else to say because you guys said everything else. You know, really, whatever that was said was the truth. Lou, thank you for your service. Been a gentleman, very well educated.
And it's not been for espresso once in a while?
It's not. I have my espresso machine ready, so anytime. And Keith, again, I can say a lot of nice things about you that apply all to you. You've been also friends with my family, and have been very dedicated to the kids. Again, I know meetings will be 10, 15 minutes shorter because you'll be missing. It's good. The rest of you, I was very happy to see a bunch of kids here, the Bombers. They really give us an honor, and they honor this town by doing so. And we should continue honor these kids. You know, they try so hard. The coaches, the parents, the dedication. It's really great. I was very happy tonight to see that many kids here. Really, there's not much to say except I wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you. I should say Happy Holidays also. Okay, thank you. I have nothing much. Now I need a motion to open to the public.
So moved.
Okay, is anyone from the public would like to come here and speak? Just come up here, state your name and address, your phone number, your blood type. It's no blood type. We don't need the blood type.
Honourable Mayor, council members, my name is Ted Lestrange. The address is 6 Jeffrey Court, Otisville, at upstate New York. I'd like to have your indulgence for a few minutes to talk about an external matters. Is that possible? In fact, the subject...
What's the subject matter of it? I mean, does it have anything to do with the Borough of Elmwood Park?
Not directly.
I mean, it's an open public meeting for the members and public in Elmwood Park.
Okay.
Why don't you, I mean, you could start, and then if it's, you know, the mayor will tell you if it's not appropriate.
Could it be said in 3 minutes?
I've entitled this Genocide by Scalpel, because that's a title given by one of the investigators into forced organ harvesting in China. Their updated research concludes that China's hospitals transplant between 60,000 and 100,000 vital human body organs each year. But China has no real organ donation program. Here in the US, with the most sophisticated organ transplant system in the world, a patient will wait up to 3 years for a matching organ to become available. In China, however, the waiting time is measured in weeks. An organ transplant tourist to China, including one from Elmwood Park, can arrange a specific date for their operation, which effectively means that someone will be disposed of on that date. It's a cultural taboo in China to donate one's organs after death. So what's the source of all these organs? Translation of these facts equates to tens of thousands of prisoners of conscience each year being killed for their organs. Most of these prisoners of conscience are Falun Gong practitioners, but also Tibetans, Uyghurs, and house Christians. They are routinely blood tested and their organs examined while held in China's forced labor camps, detention centers, and black jails. On June 13th last year, the U.S. House of Representatives unanimously passed Resolution 343, which in its summary, quote, condemns the practice of state-sanctioned forced organ harvesting in China, close quote. The European Parliament has also passed similar regulations. This has been happening for over 17 years. It's still a deathly silence on this issue. That is why I stand before you, the elected and respected representatives of the community, to echo the heavy burden of this genocide as acknowledged by the House. China has total control of its own media and way beyond it. So it comes down to this type of word of mouth to divulge what's happening. Many dedicated researchers have gathered an enormous amount of data from current and archived hospital websites, medical journals, local media reports, television surveys, and other evidence of the 865 hospitals in China that have performed these organ transplants. So books are now being written and documentaries have been produced with more comprehensive information. So I brought along some enclosures for you.
Give that to the clerk, and leave it to the clerk, and he'll give it out to the council. Thank you.
My thanks for your indulgence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is anyone else who would like to speak? Please come forward. Please state your name, your address.
George Nestori, 2 Sabo Court. I'd like to thank Lou and Keith for their service. They always had the Elmwood Park best in mind in their actions. Congratulations to Frank Caramagna. I have one question on Resolution 42517, Boswell Engineering. Was that based on a complete rezoning of the town?
No, it will, periodically, we have to update the zoning maps. We did speak to our current borough engineer, in addition to Boswell. Boswell had all of the data from the prior update, so even our current engineer recommended that for the $900 cost, we go with Boswell Engineering to update the maps.
What was the last time the town was evaluated, for
taxes?
zoning and everything else?
We did a master plan update maybe 6 or 7 years ago.
How often should we do it?
The recommendation from the state is every 6 years.
Every 6?
So we would probably be due for one in the next year or two.
And roughly, how much do they, about 40, 50K?
I think it depends on how much change is needed and what the recommendations are between the mayor and council and the planning board. But I would say it would probably run anywhere from 25 to 50,000, depending on how much change is looking to be made as part of the plan.
Okay, thank you very much, Keith. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nestori. Somebody else? Anybody else would like to speak here? Come up here.
No.
No, I guess, if not, there is, we close the public portion. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay,
Mayor, we're going to need to enter into executive session. With your permission, I'll read the executive session resolution into the record. Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231, permit the exclusion from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas the public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and where the governing body wishes to discuss litigation regarding the Council on Affordable Housing, minutes will be kept, and once the matter involving the confidentiality of the above no longer requires that confidentiality, then the minutes can be made public. Now therefore, be it resolved that the public be excluded from this meeting. Mayor will need a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
call the roll.
On roll call, Councilmembers Churdo,
Aye. Or yes?
Dombrowski?
Yes.
Golubek?
Aye.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Giandomenico?
Yes.
And Mayor, just for the public's edification, we will not have to take any formal action, so we will adjourn the meeting at the conclusion of the executive session with no additional action to be taken.
Thank you.
Thank you.